It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Cleveland Browns and the Houston Texans, and it kicks off next on Madden NFL 24.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. But today, two AFC teams set to do battle. It should be a good one, as it'll be the Cleveland Browns taking on the Houston Texans. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Before kickoff, Charles, quickly your keys to the game.
Well, partner, I could give you the standard ones, turnovers, special teams play. But here's one that doesn't get talked about much anymore, and that's time of possession. Whoever controls the football, gives their defense a break, and takes care of business, that's the team that's going to win this ball game.
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. From his end zone, here comes Jerome Ford. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, had he opted for the touchback. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And at quarterback, a longtime signal caller in the National Football League, former Super Bowl MVP Joe Flacco.
Remember when the conversation was, is Joe Flacco elite? Well, at one point he was elite enough to not only win a Super Bowl, but be named the MVP of that game. And for a time, one of the top-paid quarterbacks in the league. Not bad for a young man who transferred to Delaware from Pitt while in college. This guy has had a great career. Not many chances now to lead an offense, but still capable if put on the field.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody cut. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Elijah Moore, 61 yards. And the Browns go down the field in just 2 plays to take the early lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Escaping a tackler at the 25. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The time called here because a member of the Texans is in some discomfort. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. On first down, they'll start out with Singletary. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Right back to Singletary on second down. Shreds him with a stiff arm. Oh, he sheds himself free. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 43. Singletary again. Skirts by him at the 35. Yeah, he did not want to go down there as he carries tacklers for a solid gain of 9. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field of the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Now here's Stroud.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
They tried the throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs. It gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. The linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Here's Stroud. Finds his man. It's John Mechie. And he is going to have a Texans first down. He needed 5. He got it barely as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive. Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer, but he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. A give up the middle to Singletary. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 58 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Dameon Pierce taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Texans respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own.
That's a great response here in this first quarter. And what I like about it is how they put this drive together. The other guy scored quickly to start the game, but this was smart football to not feel like you have to go out and score quickly yourself. So they worked the ball down the field, took their time, and finished with the touchdown run.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. On the return, here's Jerome Ford. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
The handoff to Ford up the middle, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Again, they turn to Ford. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
They run with Ford. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Flacco from midfield. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 37. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
Flacco's throw hauled in by Bell. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 2. They fake the handoff. Now Flacco to pass. Targeting Moore, and he's got him on the crossing pattern. Touchdown! Elijah Moore. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Browns have taken the lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. So that drive 7 plays in length. And it was finished off by Elijah Moore on the touchdown reception. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game planned for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up.
Let's rock and roll. Let's go, baby. They can't be straight up. Let's go.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27. Stroud to throw it. This one left side caught by Collins. They'll give him 4 yards there. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. Singletary trying the left side. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away. Here's Moore on the return. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Joe Flacco and company heading back out onto the field. And the numbers for the last drive, and he was perfect, which maybe isn't surprising because he has not missed a pass in this game yet.
And it lets you know just how precise things have to be for a quarterback to be perfect, because that means the line's blocking really well, no one's dropping any of the passes thrown to them, and the quarterback is accurate. It's almost like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter or a perfect game, isn't it?
Under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. That was Will Anderson getting home and finishing the play.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. Throwing on 2nd and long. Flacco. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Flacco looks to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. On the return, it's King. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Now let's spotlight Devin Singletary as this offense comes back out. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. He'll get this out wide to Singletary. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Stroud on 3rd down now. Flush to his right. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their 1st-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
1st and 10, it's Pierce. Taken down at the 42.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. And they'll go play action here with Stroud. He's got it to Collins, complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 36. A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
On 1st down, here's Stroud. Another one caught by Collins. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another 1st down.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another 1st down.
Now they'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Robert Woods, the intended receiver that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Again, it's Stroud. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, every point certainly counts at this stage of the game. But after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Stroud looking to throw. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Oh, man. Just when the D thought they had the answer for him, he went and changed the question. Surprises him by taking off himself. Is able to set up his offense pretty with a 1st and goal.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. They'll run here with Pierce. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get his 2nd touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a 2nd. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Woods the receiver in motion left. On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Devin Singletary, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Texans are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They will start this drive with Ford. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Play action. Flacco letting one fly deep for Cooper. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Browns. 3 touchdown passes now for Joe Flacco. And the Browns are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. That's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise, because typically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they'd been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead is now 21-14. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now let's spotlight Devin Singletary as this offense comes back out. They're behind in the first half here, CD, but it's not through any fault of their running back. He's had a strong start to this one.
And you're right about that, partner, because watching him play, You would think that his team is in the lead. He has been a lot of fun in this contest. Now let's see if they can actually make something happen and put more points on the board behind his efforts.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, Charles, if they can play complementary football and get that passing game going as well. 1st and 10, it's Stroud. Right side, complete to Mechie. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and a couple. Singletary, they'll go up the middle, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. The 71 yards rushing now for Singletary, and he's got a 1st down.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go right back to Singletary. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Stroud. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Schultz. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Stroud now on 1st and 10. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll run a draw now with Singletary. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Stroud out of the gun here. He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big 30-yard play on 3rd. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. As Stroud now to throw. Caught by Woods. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing now is Stroud. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. They need 2. Here's 3rd down. Now Stroud. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. Touchdown, Texans. Devin Singletary. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21-all the score as the kick's away. This fielded right at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Browns going to go on offense one final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
30 seconds remain in this first half as they come up here 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. Breaks the tackle, now an alley. And how about that for just running out the clock? Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Flacco from the gun. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
Now a 2nd and 10. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
You can easily see the logic. It's a tie game. They just wanted to press it a little bit right before the half, hoping to get one more score.
Now, easy to second-guess the result, but now you have to think after that interception, just a field goal, and they're behind at the break.
Yeah, I think at the half, the head coach just says, look, that's on me. I wanted to press it, but it's because I believe in you guys.
They'll run on 1st down with Singletary. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Now 2nd and 3. Here's Stroud. He gets this one to Mechie. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it, so on comes the field goal unit. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and with it, they'll take the lead at 24-21. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, back to you guys in just a moment, but welcome everyone to our Creative Village studios in the EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter three? And he returns this to the 22. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead. Now a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, and believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets up the pass game really well for them too.
92 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
In motion left here, one of their tight ends. On second down, here's Pierce. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. Looking to throw. Stroud. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And he is going to have a Texans first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
They brought in a heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play. But we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one. Wound up hitting him for a first down.
Stroud to the air on 1st and 10. This is caught. It's Woods. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The end result, 21 yards.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. A give, Singletary right side. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
2nd down and a yard. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. On the give, this is Singletary. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the 1st down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
And that is no good. And that will keep this a 3-point game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. They look to throw on 1st and 10 with Flacco. Throw left side complete. That's more. Only able to gain a couple there, and it's 2nd down. On the ground, it's Ford. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 68 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
He finds his man complete. That's Ford. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 18. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Flacco's throw hauled in by Bell. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Second and 2, 1st down marker at the 8. This is Ford. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. From the gun, Flacco. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Browns are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down. Ford. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 2 yards. Second and 2 for the Browns. 2 yards. Gain of 9. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Ford. will score. Touchdown, Cleveland. So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense commits too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time he had the speed to win that race.
Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
Yeah, boy, the strength on display there as he rumbles through tacklers for a gain of about 8.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Right back to Singletary on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Pierce now up the middle. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. Dances by him, and he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. They'll run out of the gun with Singletary. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Greg Newsome up to make the stop. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. From the 42-yard line, here's a 2nd and 5. Singletary again. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Stroud to throw it. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 29-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Singletary here running out of the gun. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That good for 22 and a first down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They run here with Singletary, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
That's good hard running right there on 1st and goal. That gets them down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Singletary is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Robert Woods from 4 yards out. And the Texans answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the 4th quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the 4th quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he?
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that gives them a 3-point lead. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with a Robert Woods touchdown reception. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
2nd down, 8 to go from the 28. Here's Flacco. And his throw here is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Flacco looks to throw. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Well, certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
The Texans back out there and ready to go. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage.
And Woods will go in motion right. A give up the middle to Singletary. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think you may want to keep them cranking high right here.
A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On the handoff, it's Singletary. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the fourth quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
Singletary again, and this time he is in for a Houston touchdown.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was finished off by a Devin Singletary touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
Another opportunity now for the Browns offense. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He finds his man, complete. It's Ford. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. This is the tight end, Njoku. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
Will Anderson able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Setting up to throw, Flacco. And that is taken in by Njoku. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 23 yards the pickup there.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Flacco's throw there complete. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up second down.
That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
So the completion good for just 3. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. And quickly they get to the line. They fake the handoff. Now Flacco to pass. That is caught. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Again from the 15, 2nd and 10.
Once more, it's Flacco. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ford. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Well, the noise got to be an issue now offensively. Here's 3rd and 6.
To pass, Flacco. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Texans offense set to regain possession. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down.
Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here comes 3rd down and 7. Stroud back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Flacco gets this to Moore, and down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Nice, well coached, a team that understands what's going on. They still have time to work the middle of the field as they just did there.
Just the 1 timeout remaining as they try to navigate this 2-minute drill. 1st and 10. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Will Anderson in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Jonathan Greenard running in to pick up the sack.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
This crowd turning up the decibel level. It's 3rd and long. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. To a knee goes Stroud, and that is going to be all she wrote. That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the 4th quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.